Good Sunday morning. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. Welcome, vinyl community, and anybody else out there in YouTube land that happened to stumble across the North Carolina Vinyl Picker, where we talk about music, mostly prog. I'm the number 764th prog channel. Yes, I'm way down on the list, but I'm moving up. I want to get to where Scott is someday. I would like to get there someday. Sure, that would be wonderful. And today we're going to talk about 2012. What was I listening to in 2012? What were you listening to in 2012, if you can remember? We're continuing on with this series, which started back in the 70s, and we're going to go all the way up to the present date. We're going to talk about these 6 albums behind me. That's right, we're going to talk about those. Those are my top 6 albums of this year, 2025. We're going to discuss those. And I'm also going to go through what I picked up yesterday at Noble Records. We all made the pilgrimage to Noble Records yesterday. And Dylan has a fantastic store. And you all need to get down there today, because today's the last day of the big sale. It's going to carry on through the week. But he's got big bargains down there. He's selling out everything in his back room. Posters, t-shirts, albums, 45s, VHS tapes, you name it, he's putting it out there. He's trying to get rid of it all so that way he can make room, because maybe he's buying a big collection. I don't know. Maybe that's a secret. I don't know. Maybe he's doing something for a reason. And I had a meetup yesterday. I had a meetup yesterday. I had a meetup with Justin and Dave, local bandography. That's right. And we met and we went over and had lunch, and it was a great time. And I was a little under the weather because last week I had my procedure. So it was on Monday, and then the rest of the week kind of was a good day, bad day. And then yesterday I got overheated, and I didn't get all the picking done I wanted to get done at Dylan's. And I live too far away. I'd like to get back down there this week, but I don't think that's going to happen. So what I'd get in the mail this week. So let's start with that, and then we'll get into 2012 at the end. We'll move that to the end. That's right. So far this week, I've picked up about 3 albums that came in the mail. And the first one I picked up was Cozy Powell. Cozy Powell, an awesome drummer. He's just fantastic drummer. And he's played with Keith Emerson, and he's played with lots of bands over the years. He's since passed away. But Cozy, this is his, I want to say this is his second album, Tilt. And it's got all kinds of people on here. He's got all kinds of people on this thing. He's got Don Airey from Deep Purple. He's got Gary Moore on here. He's got Jeff Beck on here. He's got Jack Bruce on here. He's got David Sanchez on here. He's got this who's who of people on these. He made 3 solo albums, and this is the second one. I'm looking for the third. The third album is called Octopus. So I'll find it eventually, even if I gotta buy it, because I think I picked this one up for like $4, because they're cheap and they're fantastic fusion records. So that's the first one I found. The next one I want to show you is a krautrock band called Kron. And these guys are just incredible. I just learned about these guys, and they're on the Passport label. So this is the second album of theirs I've picked up, and these guys are just tremendous. So if you like krautrock and a little bit of fusion and a little bit of level 42, early level 42 maybe, Kron, great band, fantastic record. What's the next one here? The next one, this is Ramses. Now Ramses, I have the first album up here, Space Hymns. Now Ramsey thought he was a pharaoh. That's right, he thought he was the incarnation of a pharaoh, and he came back to the world to tell us all how to act and behave. That's right, it's a true story. And his wife played with him on his records, and 10cc was actually the backing band before they became I'm Not in Love, that 10cc. They were the backing band for that album, Space Hymns. So don't sleep on these 2 albums. This is the second album, which I never thought I would own, but I got it's on the Vertigo label, and it's called, what is it called? It's called The Glass Top Coffin. This album is fantastic, boys and girls. It is fantastic. And Justin, you need to get this one here, and you need to get the other one, and then you need to get Dr. Z too. You need to pick up Dr. Z. So, Glass Top Coffin, Ramses, right? The Pharaoh we'll call him Pharaoh Ramses, because that's what he thought he was. He has since passed. Then we went to Dillon yesterday. We made the pilgrimage all the way down to Matthews. For me, it's about an hour and a half drive down, so that's a 3-hour round trip. So you're investing some time there. And I got to get back for my Yankee game, which is coming on here pretty soon. Won't be long, about 20 minutes maybe. So I picked up a bunch of records. He had a bunch of $5 records. Now, like I said, I didn't feel real good, so I didn't have a whole lot of time to pick. But I picked one off his Holy Moly wall. I told Dave when I saw Dave out in the parking lot, I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab a Holy Moly record, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I got to get home to watch the ball game. He said, "You're kidding, right?" I said, "No, I'm going. That's my plan of attack." And I'm going in. I'm going to grab one off the Holy Moly wall, and I'm out of here. I'm heading back home. So I didn't do that exactly, but I was pretty close to it. But we stopped and had some lunch, and I was able to get a little bit of food in me. And Dave took a video of me. I think he opened up his video this week with me munching on what did I have? Oh, I had some fish and some onion rings. So anyway, the Baker Gervais Army. Anybody out there know who these people are? Well, that's Ginger Baker and then Adrian Gervais and his brother. These are fantastic 70s records. I think they made a couple records, and they also did some records with the drummer from the Moody Blues. So don't sleep on those records. You want to stream them first. It's 70s rock. If you're not into early 70s rock, you probably wouldn't like it. But if you are, then you might want to pick this one up too, because this is Mott Hoople. Yeah, this is the first album without the man. The man. That's right, the man. And just a fantastic record. Ian Hunter's on here. And if you look on the inside here, it has this here. Tells you all about the record. Tells you all about it. All the lyrics and everything. Just a great album. Yeah. Mick Ralphs is not on this album because Mick Ralphs was in bad company by that time. Then I found these are all $5, $4.99. Cheap Heat, as Dillon calls it. I love Cheap Heat. I would have gone through all them boxes he had in there. I probably would have pulled out 100 of them. But like I said, I didn't feel real good. Gary Wright, this is I think his first solo album. This was $4.99. And it's on the old A&M records, right? Herb Alpert. This is going to be a great album. I like all Gary Wright. I like all Spooky Tooth. I like all that stuff. Last week I showed you that Spooky Tooth album. Spooky Tooth album that I found. The double album was the best stuff. But this album here, I believe this looks pretty old. It's probably his first album. So I'm looking forward to giving that a spin. And then we got a little vanilla fudge. This one here is called The Beat Goes On. This was $4.99. And it's on that old Atco label. The Beat Goes On. This was the last Vanilla Fudge album that I needed. So now I only need one more Cream album, The Wheels, Roll the Wheels or Wheels of Fire, I think that's what it's called. That's a double album. So I need to find that one. That's right. So now we're going to talk about this guy right here real quick. This guy's name is Harumi. And Harumi was a Japanese psych rock artist who had released one single album in 1968. This came off the Holy Moly wall, off Dillon's Holy Moly wall. Don't be too jealous up there, Dave. Dave didn't get a Holy Moly yesterday. Yeah. Justin got 3 Holy Molys, and I got 1 Holy Moly. And this is a psych artist who released one single album in 1968. He went to New York City in 1967. That was the year I moved to New Jersey. That's right. And recorded this scarce masterpiece with Tim Wilson, who also worked with Bob Dylan. He worked with Frank Zappa. He worked with the Velvet Underground, who I told Justin yesterday I never heard their music. Simon and Garfunkel. He worked with Sun Ra. He worked with, who else? He worked with Eddie Harris. He worked with Eric Burdon and the Animals. he produced these albums, and there's lots of others. You could go ahead and Wikipedia all the records that he produced. Tim Wilson, he produced Freak Out. He produced mostly Dylan's albums, all the early albums, like 63 to 67. All them records Tim Wilson produced. Sun Ra, Sun Song it's called. And then he did some Animals albums. And some of those guys are probably on this record. But there's nobody on here that's credited to being really on this record. It was one and done. This is a double album. The first album is his solo album. And the second album is some other stuff that I haven't ventured into yet, but it's pretty far out there. Probably has Sun Ra on it. I don't know for sure, Dave, but maybe you could research that one. But seeing how all those people knew him, and he knew all them people during this time that he was in New York City, and Tim Wilson was producing those records at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people were actually on this record. This album is just fantastic, and it's scarce as, hen's teeth. I think there's 2 copies on eBay, and there's 1 copy on Discogs that sells for like $300. Dylan had $84 on it. I snatched it down. I saw it on Dylan's on Noble Records there. I saw it on his reel. He shows the Holy Moly Wall once a week or so. And I saw it there. I said, oh man, I got to get down there and get that record. So when I walked in, there was, I had about 30 people ahead of me. I'm like, shit. Ain't nobody gonna know this record though. The only 2 people that really knew their record in that whole freaking shop was Dylan, Dave, and me. That was probably the only 3 people that knew what this album was up there. But you can tell by looking at it, it's psychedelic, and it's from the late '60s. So I was so happy to get it, and I came home and I told the wife, and she was so pissed. No, she said, hey, it's better than hitting the streets and buying crack, right? So there you go. Okay, so now we're going to get into 2012. And I just want to thank Dave and Justin for being there with me yesterday, hanging out with the old vinyl picker, the old Big Chief. And we had a great time. And I wish I could have stayed longer, but I really didn't feel good. And I wanted to get home. And the Yankees that was the second thing I needed to do. But, my health is number one. If you don't have your health, you can't go picking, right? So there you go. So anyway, let's get through these 10. Now we're going to talk about the 10 records that I was listening to in 2012. Well, in 2012, most of us people weren't buying records. I wasn't buying records in 2012. I was still buying CDs. But we were doing CDRs. We were burning so much stuff. I got boxes and boxes of CDRs, movies, concerts, everything you can think of. Everybody, the whole world was burning stuff because there was no albums anymore. Well, there was a few coming over in Europe, but not much. So coming in at number 10. Now the first 4 I think are just CDRs, and I didn't bother pulling them out because all it is just a CDR with me writing on there with a Sharpie. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of these right here, and I got a little bit more than 4 or 5, some special mentions here. The name of the band is RPWL. And the album is called Beyond Man and Time. That's a great album. RPWL, you won't go wrong with any of those. And one of their albums has Ray Wilson on there, who was on Genesis Calling All Stations. Ray Wilson came in and did a song with RPWL and toured with them, I think, too. Here's another album by a band called Sylvan, and these guys are fantastic. And I think they're German. The name of the album is Sceneries. These are all progressive rock bands, albums. Next one I want to talk about is Rush's last album, Clockwork Angels, which came out in 2012. It's crazy. That's how long they've been since they broke up. Neil Peart passed away soon after. Weather Systems by Anathema. Those guys are fantastic. They made a run of like 2 or 3 albums. We're Here Because We're Here. I got trying to buy it on vinyl, but it's like $50. The English Electric by Big Big Train. English Electric Part 1. That's a fantastic record. Part 2 is really good too. And the album before that, really good. And then the lead singer, he passed away a couple years. What a shame. He had such a fantastic voice. Here's one more. Anglagard, Valanja Oga. Viljans. Vilhelm, I don't know how to spell. I think it's Swedish. Swedish. Elgens Olga. They're Anglagard is the name of the band. I'll stop butchering the name of that album. Anglagard, fantastic progressive rock band. I've sold all my Anglagard CDs I had. They were some of the first CDs I sold. I said I've sold all my CDs. I still have a few in my store, but there'll be a link down below to my eBay store if you're interested in buying some CDs. Number 6 coming in. Number 6, I think I want to make a boo-boo here, but we'll say it's Trevor Rabin. This album is called Jakarta, or Jacaranda, something like that. And yeah, I didn't do very good in English. I just had a D. I had a D in English in my senior year, but I passed. I got through. My mom was pissed, but well, at least I didn't fail and then not pass high school, right? Big Chief passed. He passed with a D. Okay, Jacaranda. We'll say it's called Jacaranda. And it's Trevor Rabin from Yes. Fantastic record. First album he'd done in a long time. And I don't think he's done one since this. This was in 2012. So if you like Trevor Rabin, you like Yes with Trevor Rabin, then you need to find this album, Jacaranda. I might have it in the store. I'm not sure. I found it in the back. Coming in, next one. Next one's probably coming in. It's Tori Amos. You know I love Tori Amos. This album is called Gold Dust. And this is all her best tracks. All her favorites are all her number one tracks. And it's all done differently. But she rearranged all the songs. I think this is my favorite Tori Amos album. I love it to death. And yeah, it's called Gold Dust. Great album. What do we got next? We got Mr. Steven Wilson, Get All You Deserve. And this is a video of a DVD, a Blu-ray, recorded live, Mexico City, 13th of April, 2012. Awesome show. I'm going to go see him in November. That's right. As long as the creek don't rise, I'm going to be there and see him in New York. Catalog, Preserve a Mass. Steven Wilson live in Europe, 2011. The album came out in 2012. Yeah, I'm a big Steven Wilson fan. Still am. Next one, Octane Twisted. This is from Porcupine Tree's final album they did. And this is the live show from the Incident. That album, The Incident. This is Octane Twisted. This will be the live show in a box set. The whole show on there. Just incredible. I got it on Blu-ray too. And then the last one, Fear of a Blank Planet. That's right, Porcupine Tree. I saw this tour. This is the one in time I only seen Porcupine Tree. And it was in Orlando, 2012. And I was like I've said before, I was about, 6 feet from Steven Wilson's feet. I was right up front. And it's incredible. It's just an incredible show. And yeah, that's about all I got for you this week. I think I covered everything. Y'all be good out there. 18 minutes. Wow. Just a rambling. Oh, we didn't talk about these 6 records. So let's go ahead and talk about them real quick. Number 1. Now I'm going to do this countdown at least once a month. And it's going to change. This is going to change up here. My top 6 albums of the year. So I know Scott did his top 20, I think, or top 15 or top 20 albums of 2025. And I did mine a month before everybody else did theirs. So there you go. Check it out on my channel. Go back about a month. You'll see where I did my top 10 albums of 2025. But then I got a couple people said, hey, you're doing it early. You're doing it too early. I said, okay. Well, here's a reprise right here. Okay, number one, IQ, Dominion. Number 1 album of the year so far. Nobody even comes close to that album. That album is fantastic. Coming in at number 2, which just moved up to number 2. I just got it this week. Nad Sylvan, Monumentum. Oh, fantastic record. Lead singer for Steve Hackett's band. New solo album. Incredible album. Coming in at number 3, Steven Wilson with The Overview. He was at number 2. He's moved over to number 3. Coming in at number 4, Pink Floyd, Pompeii. That's right, live. Pink Floyd, Live Pompeii, the reissue. First time I think it's been available on an actual, before it was a bootleg. Coming in at number 5 from Dylan at Noble Records. You got to get a copy of that. He might be sold out. You got to get Boris. You got to pick up Yezda Urfa. You got to get Boris. You need to get it today. You need to go down there and see Dylan or have him mail you a copy because he's going to run out eventually. And those things are, that album is just fan. You like prog and you don't have Boris? What are you waiting for? You need to call Dylan and say, hey, Dylan, I need a copy of Boris and I need it now. That's right, I need it now. Coming in at number 6 is Yes Live at the Rainbow, 1972. And that came from Record Store Day. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's probably going to fall off the list because the sound on that is horrible. It's Friday Music, I think. No, Rhino. It's Rhino. Should be ashamed of putting that out. They put all 3 records right in together in a sleeve. No, nothing in between them or nothing. Just a paper. Oh, it's just awful. It's going to fall off. I'm sure it's going to fall off. Up here, up on the top up there, I got David Gilmour's daughter, Romney Gilmour. That's coming in at number 7. Number 8 over there is Tori Amos, Diving Deeper Live from her last live tour. Those are some extra songs. And then 9 and number 10 is ID Live from Riverside, which is Riverside is a band similar to Porcupine Tree. So if you like prog, you should be listening to a band called Riverside. And then coming in at number 10 is John Anderson and the Band Geeks. And I'm hoping to get that here really soon. And if I get that, it's definitely going to bump that Yes right off of there. It's going to take it right off. And we'll be having the John Anderson up there, which I'd love to go see. But the closest he was, I think, was over in Tennessee somewhere. Or I had to go way up north. He didn't come to Charlotte. If he had come to Charlotte, the picker would have been there. I would have been there. Down in the front row. That's right, down in the front row. That's all I got for this week. 22 minutes. Support them troops out there. Things are getting hot and heavy overseas. Take care, and I will see you on Wednesday, hopefully, and for a show. Bye for now.